Hey, welcome back to Creature Corner. My name is Jared Krichevsky. Creature Corner is brought to you by Dell. Tonight we have a very special guest and some other cool stuff. I don't know. What is that cool stuff? I don't know. We'll make it up. But we're just going to have a good time. Guess might as well intro the man himself. He's the war bat. That's who he is. Please welcome Matt Millard.
Get over here!
It's Matt Millard.
What's up, my dudes? Look at all these people. We got so many people hanging out already.
I know. They're just jumping right in. This is exciting.
Thanks for swinging by.
Yeah. So a little movie came out, I don't know, a little bit ago. Godzilla X Kong. I don't know if anybody's heard of it.
The X is silent.
The X is silent. It's just Godzilla Kong.
Yeah.
But anyway, one thing that we all noticed had in common was all of our designs are featured in that movie. So we had to get our next guest on board with us to come and hang out. So let's welcome him. Matt, you want to intro?
The man himself, DopePope.
DopePope.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's up, dude?
It's good to be here.
What's up, man? So this is actually we've known each other for a while, and we've known your work for a long time. Just doing like kaiju sculpting of all kinds, design. Your work is just sick, man. So yeah, man, it's great to have you on.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw your art was whenever you did the war bat, and I was like, this dude did it better than I did. He did it off a trailer. I was texting Jared. I was like, who is this guy?
Who's this
it's
guy?
Like, this dude rocks. You know, I was like, man, that is sick.
Yeah,
Great to
Yeah,
hear.
we met you at Monster Palooza last year.
Right.
That was super cool, man. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here. And you guys, it's your work that makes me want to do my work. So it's only natural that we all meet at some point.
yeah, it's a good feedback loop. We got a lot of people in here. It's great. Yeah, so we're here to just celebrate kaiju, man, and big monsters in general. Talk about the movie.
It's the best time to be a kaiju fan.
I think it is
Big time. And it's only getting better, too.
You know, to coin the phrase, we're eating good right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Let them cook so they
Let
can
'em
eat
cook.
good, bro.
Speak cinnamon.
Bussin'.
I like that expression because I'm always eating something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to it, man. Let's fire up some spheres.
Yeah, so what we're doing, giant kaijus.
Yeah, we don't really have like much other than giant kaiju. I was thinking dude in suit.
Okay. You're going dude in suit?
I was gonna go dude in suit. What do you guys think?
I've got goat skulls and Komodo dragons.
Goat skulls and Komodo dragons.
Awesome. I love Dude in Suit because that's my go-to. That's just it's just in me, and that's what comes out. That's great. I can't wait to see what your Dude in Suit looks like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, let's fire it up. I don't have any. I got no direction. Let's just see what comes out today.
Yeah, let's just rock it from a sphere, dude.
Yeah, I did a little like kind of side sketch, but like
Okay, so you do have an idea.
not like
You are lying.
I said dude in suit.
I don't know if my screen's showing though. Is it? Like my ZBrush screen?
I think we can see it.
Let's check.
Yeah, that's okay. Cool. As long as you can see it.
Well, James, what do you? James sees. Anyway, so yeah, sphere time. So, okay, guys, we're gonna keep it like we'll medium dish about the movie because we don't want to spoil anything for anybody because it's still relatively new, but it had a very good kind of opening weekend, Easter weekend. Pope, what's your impression? How'd you like the movie?
I saw it twice already. I mean, I'm
Yes.
gonna go ahead and say I had so much fun watching it. It was a blast. I'm kind of biased because I have a Titan in it.
Yeah,
My
it's
That's
awesome.
my first movie monster ever. So I am over the moon.
Dang,
Exhilarated.
man, that's it, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Whatever.
So, but that said, I still. I mean, if my monster wasn't in this, I still would have loved it as much as I did. So
It's
I mean,
super fun.
it's insane. It's a like $150 million Saturday morning cartoon.
And
Such a good movie.
And we really haven't. I feel like we haven't had anything like that in a while. You know, can you name the last like really just because it's silly. The movie is just silly and wild, and very science fiction fantasy.
Loved it.
It's insane. The visuals in that movie are just nuts. Like you have to pinch yourself every few minutes to say, "Where am I? What am I watching? What is going on?" And then you just let yourself ride it, and it's just too much fun. It's a weird thing because Godzilla -1 came out recently and got everybody excited and for a serious tone Godzilla, and it did it beautifully. That was like probably one of my favorite movies of last year, hands down.
I think so.
So, but I think Godzilla could have both sides of that and do it well, and I think this is proof of it.
Yeah, we can have our cake. And that's the thing is like -1 it's like a cinematic monster movie, and you really are engrossed in the story. Okay. So yeah, man, it was thrilling. I mean,
the first time you ever saw like you've worked on so many things. The first time you guys saw your monsters on screen, how did you act? What did you do?
Oh, dude, when the first thing I ever got picked was like a gun design, and
oh, there he is.
What? Oh,
no, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got to turn off our cameras, right?
So we can get everyone's Zed.
There we go. Okay. Now, can you hear me? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're old people.
Yeah.
We're old people streaming.
I bet I'm rolling the oldest of the three of us.
I'm 24, so I've probably got all you guys beat.
Are you really 24?
No, dude.
I don't know, man. It's people with like big beards and mustaches. You can hide your face.
No, I'm 36. Okay, so first thing I remember. Oh, sorry, Jared. You were telling your story about seeing your gun for the first time.
Oh, dude, yeah, the Falling Skies gun, and
that's great. I love that show.
And it was just like a sidearm that an alien kind of has, and dude, I heard it got picked, and that Spielberg himself picked it, and you float home, you're you can't change that high, it's incredible.
I remember seeing Ralph from Rampage in the trailer for the first time, and I screamed at the top of my lungs. I was like, "Are you kidding me? It's just 1-to-1. This is so sick." Because we hadn't seen anything about the movie, and then the trailer came out. I was like, "What the?" I was like, "Holy crap, dude!"
And that's exactly how I'm feeling right now, like, to a T. Because that Ralph was like the full-blown kaiju. That is what you made. And it was like
it is totally.
That's amazing.
Super sick.
I love that movie. I saw that in the movie.
It's a really fun movie, and he gets his head ripped off, and then the Warbat gets his head ripped off. So I'm on a good streak. Just gotta
all of your. But if you notice, Matt, they're fatalities.
They're Sub-Zero's fatalities.
I mean, is that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Is that not the goal?
Yeah, it's great, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got the boys. We got the Kaiju boys today.
Yeah, I thought it would be a great idea to have the three of us
No, and we've
at the same time.
we've wanted to get you on forever,
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, we've been talking about it for a year now.
and we both have ADD, and making things happen is hard.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
But we do what we can, and this was actually just perfect timing.
There's a
Oh,
long list.
I think my move brush is screwed up. I don't know why that. Oh, because back face mask. There we go. That's why.
Yeah.
I have a custom UI that is so custom that when you use ZBrush without it, you don't know how to use
Well,
it.
what's your,
So
That's
that's why I don't have a custom one.
we talk about that a lot.
but I don't think if I didn't have it, I would still be looking for things from the first time I tried sculpting. So it's
I feel it, dude. I feel it.
So I don't know if anybody's looking at my screen, but I was inspired to create this thing that I'm working on because I recently came across a picture of a two-headed tortoise, or turtle,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
and I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and it needed to be a Titan in the MonsterVerse. So I'm doing a giant Titan.
That's
two-headed
dope.
turtle. Now it can't be like it's got to be completely different from King Ghidorah, obviously, but it also can't look anything like Gamera. So there's there's the bracket of challenge for me. I can't be too derivative of Gamera and can't look like Ghidorah.
I think I'm going closer to Pac Rim. Like a Pac Rim kind of kaiju. Big shape.
Okay, cool.
You know,
Yeah.
Cool.
big shapes, clean.
Pac Rim is beautiful, and they have their own kaiju design language that
They really do.
like MonsterVerse. I would love to see those universes combined, but one day
Oh,
when
yeah.
when they're just like out of ideas, at least they have one last good one. And
Kind of
that's
their Hail Mary, isn't it?
Yeah, bring Del Toro back for it.
oh god, yeah, but that's fine.
Would he come back? I don't know.
If it was mixed with Godzilla, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, let me in."
Yeah. But I don't know if I would rather just see a Godzilla made by Guillermo del Toro. You know what I mean?
That is interesting.
Let him make that movie.
I'd watch the hell out of that.
Oh yeah, you would. You know, and it would be totally different than -1 or Godzilla X Kong.
He
Yeah.
would have a fish man in it as a love interest.
Jared Modena was my student. He took my class several times and crushed it every time.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, so
You see that?
I've watched Jared just explode, man. It's awesome. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, his work is fantastic.
And
He inspires me. I every time I see one of his designs, it makes me want to go on. And that's what I love about watching other artists.
he's hungry, man. He's pushing hard, and I love that. And I told him, just make what you love. And
Yeah.
he's got it. Oh baby, he's got it. Is Nizuki Warbat a Titan? Yeah, I think if you took Nizuki onto land, it would be huge. That thing's as big as Kong.
Yeah.
He was gonna kill that. He was gonna kill that monkey.
He was gonna kill. He was gonna suffocate him.
He was gonna kill him.
He was gonna kill him. He was gonna.
When I first saw the Nizuki toy, that was the first thing that ever came out, and that was the first thing that I tried to sculpt. But when I saw it, we had no context of what it was going to be in the movie, and
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be the end villain. And I pictured it being like twice their size.
Yeah.
But it would, to this day, I think it would make an awesome main villain, which is why I think it's so sinister looking. But it turned out actually to be like a species that's always there.
Yeah.
It's ubiquitous, and it's kind of threatening to everyone that's in the area. It's not just one. Imagine 20 of them swarming. That thing doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
Kind of even Godzilla would be like, I don't know what to do with this. But that's my impression of that thing. It was so imposing to me that I was like, wow.
Hell yeah. That's what we like to hear.
Same with the skull crawlers. I love the skull crawlers because they're a throwback design too. And
I like the false eye.
yeah,
It's really cool. The false eye socket.
and
It's really
and bravo for just 2 legs.
Yeah, it's just like apparently from the original Kong, right?
Yeah.
So you almost like I never knew that. I actually always thought they had 4. I just didn't see the other 2. So that's really cool that they left that in that way. I never really saw anything like that in a movie before. Like,
it's
it's
a really unique design. It's super cool.
That movie in general, Kong Skull Island is one of the standouts because it's just so stylish. Yeah, Matt, what are you doing?
Right now, I'm just kind of blocking in a little lizard head.
Little lizard guy.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll get him a little cosmic here in a minute. Get him some eldritch horror vibes. Have a bunch of tentacles coming out of his mouth or something.
That'd be cool.
Little. And maybe on the ends of all the tentacles are little like snake heads or something that fire little laser beams or whatever.
You should add like a little bird in there. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna add a bird in there.
We just add a little bird.
I'm gonna add a bird in there.
Like serrated tongue.
I'm gonna add a bird.
Just put a little bird in it.
I'm gonna put a bird on it.
Kong is a super species, I think so.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like the MonsterVerse has lots of creature archetypes and silhouettes, but they haven't had a turtle yet. And I guess maybe they're trying to avoid comparisons to Gamera, maybe, or maybe they just haven't gotten around to it, or they have something in the works. But I was thinking, like, if they had one, what would it be like? And it's going to be awesome.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
We love a good turtle.
I mean, that's the thing is you just take any animal, scale it up, mix it with some others, and then you got like a really dope kind of Titan that you could fit in there. Then you give it a little personality.
Give it a little hat.
Give it a little hat, maybe like a friendship bracelet.
Yeah, some sort of harmonica style instrument.
That he plays with his friends on Thursdays.
Only on Thursdays. He's got the kids the rest of the week.
He's got
It's like that. He's like a soccer mom kaiju.
Yeah.
Soccer mom kaiju.
He flies a cosmic minivan into
So, like, Pope, what's your general workflow? You always start from a sphere.
Typically, I do. I do start from, unless I know it's something that's going to look very similar to something else I've already sculpted. I usually start with a sphere and just pull shapes out of that, duplicate, and just block it in real sloppy and real ugly.
Yeah,
that's what we like.
That's what we like.
Little by little, I start to add detail and make it look worthy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It looks like shit until it doesn't.
Yeah, you got to embrace the suck, man.
Embrace the suck. I recall that. You guys are saying that, and I said, it's gonna actually suck when you embrace the suck.
Yeah,
That's something really good at that time. So
I think it's kind of like a wave. Now it's like a wave where it's like, I love it, I hate it, I love it, I hate it, I love it, I hate it.
Oh,
and you just surf that wave, right?
Yeah, I try to explain that to lots of people all the time, and like I guess if they're familiar with doing art, they get it immediately, and other people are just like, really? I never thought of it like
you don't just crank it out and it's perfect every time. Yeah. You're like, no, dude, you've got to like hate it for 80% of the time you're doing it. And then you find that jam, you find that shape language, you find that one stroke, that one silhouette, you're like, oh yeah, that's where it's at. Now we know what we're doing here.
Bomb has been planted.
I was reading your AMA on Twitter. That was immense, man. I was trying to keep up as it was going, and I don't know how you got around to answering all those questions. Those was a lot of questions.
I had to take that down.
Oh, really? Did you say too many things? Or
Yeah. So I won't talk about it further. But yeah,
I didn't realize it was. I
got a very nice and gentle slap on the wrist.
That's funny.
But it's all good. I mean, it was they knew it's it's because they said my heart's in the right place.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah. But immediately after, I'm like, fuck.
The fandom is so they're so hungry for information.
That is
how great is that?
That is that's the thing that comes across is like from the time this movie was announced, even while -1 is going on, the fandom is like eating up every piece of information, right? They just want more, and so that's the thing I'm struck with. Like, I don't know if you guys just get random questions.
Yes,
but I get a lot of random questions, and it's crazy, and I'm like, I don't have the definitive answer for you.
And even if you do, you can't give it most of the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to talk about it.
Yeah, I totally get that. But you have quite a few monsters in the Monsterverse. You're kind of like the go-to. You're actually online talking to people a lot of the time, so I can see why.
Yeah.
It's you still get them. The people still want to know. There's like for that one, and so I bet Matt get millions over the years.
Dude, I get the same question all the time for the last 4 years.
Which is
it Nozuki or Warbat?
I
Why did they name it Warbat? What does Nozuki? What is it? Nozuki Titanus? That's what I get.
Big things.
We're like, guys, when we work on this, it's years in advance.
I do have a definitive answer though.
He does.
Yeah, I actually talked to Adam about it a couple of years ago on Instagram, and he was like, "Yeah, it was called Nozuki up until China got a hold of the toys, and then they just renamed it Warbat."
Okay.
There you go.
and this is probably why Adam has nuked his accounts.
Yeah.
He just wants to interact and talk about it too, because he's a fan too. It's so funny. Yeah, I mean, and none of us are big directors that can afford to nuke our accounts, so we have to be somewhat available.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. We can't just shut shit down.
Because exactly. Yes.
Shutting down how you get work. Yeah.
Orga. All right. So many questions. There was a good one. What was your favorite Godzilla era?
I think it's an easy one.
What's that?
I think for me, it's not an easy one. I want to say Showa, but Showa it's unfair to say because there's a lot more Showa movies than there were the Heisei era and all that.
Yeah.
I think the Heisei monsters are those are the coolest, and those movies had more cohesive storylines. But Showa has just a lot more fun. Those are my childhood memories. So I gotta say Showa. But I'm older.
You like Showa? Yeah, you like the Showa era.
Yeah, man. I mean, I liked Hedorah whenever I was. I watched the Smog Monster over and over again whenever I was a kid. And anything with Mecha G in it, I was like, "This is so cool."
That's what Heisei era.
No, that's Showa.
That's Showa. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Towards the end.
Hedorah was great. Still one of my favorites.
So yeah, like I used to see you guys work and be like, all right, they're sculpting some of the coolest new kaiju in town, so I have to do it. It was inspired me to do it, and I did. I think I did it for just about every one that came out until Mechagodzilla, and I took one look at that thing.
You were like, you know what?
I'm not even trying to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that one a pause.
Mind-blown, challenge decline.
Yeah.
And yeah, to this day, I'm scared of that thing.
Well, you can pick and choose. I think RPO would be easier.
It's just
No, I get it.
It's so insanely detailed. It's like I can't even do fan art of this thing. It's ridiculous. But good on you, man. That's just a mind-blowing design.
Oh, thanks, buddy. You know, it's funny because I put a lot of character into it, and it wasn't until like I saw Doug that I was like, I really got Adam's like his sensibilities, because I saw Doug and I was like, there it is.
Doug. Oh, Doug. Doug's got a great cameo in this.
Doug shows up for like
he's in the trailer. I can't be spoiled.
Well, he's in. I'm talking GVK. GVK.
Yeah.
But it was, he's a boy.
It seemed pretty apparent that Doug was supposed to be tangential to the Godzilla species. It just the design language is all over it. So, but I don't know if that's canonical or anything. But to me,
yeah, dude. Whenever we were doing the Nozuki, that was forever ago, and they were like, yeah, everything kind of needs to look a little related to Godzilla.
Yeah, I think that's smart. But I don't know when that was implemented, because you look at the Muto and you don't see anything of Godzilla.
Right.
At least I can't.
Yeah, that's like some alien level stuff.
Yeah.
I think
I love Mutos. They're one of my favorite designs of all time.
I think that's definitely Gareth Edwards' kind of sensibilities. Like Godzilla's got to be Godzilla, but the Muto he could have fun with,
Yeah.
But
yeah, he totally did.
I love that design too. The clean lines all throughout that thing. So cool.
Yeah, it was up until that point. On a kaiju scale, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. It reminded me of like some really old school kaiju from the Gamera series. I saw Gauss in there. If anyone knows who Gauss is, I saw like some semblance of Gauss in there. Saw some Gigan in there. It's just there's so much going on in there, but at the same time, it's so unique to the animal kingdom. Like it could be anything and it can be nothing. That's why I think it worked so well.
Yeah, big alien vibes. Loved it.
A little bit. I don't know. I can't say Cloverfield because the shapes are just so much cleaner. But that big flat head.
Really close to it.
It's like the most sci-fi design that they've had in the monster.
Yeah, I would say that.
I also noticed that a lot of the new designs kind of aired more on the. They reminded me of like some Avatar type of stuff.
Yeah, I saw that in Hollow Earth.
Yeah,
those wasp-looking things, the yellow jackety camouflage things. Those were definitely Pandora-esque.
Yeah, it felt very Pandora-esque for sure.
It was also good to see some other little critters that popped up in there, because there was those like owl bat things.
Yeah.
From the original Godzilla vs. Kong, right? They showed up at the end.
Yeah. They show up in
Hellhawk.
Hellhawks. That's right. Those are the kind of unsung little heroes of that movie. They were just ugly beautiful.
Yeah, Brian Wanya did those.
Yeah, he did.
Ah, another genius right there.
Love Brian, man.
Yeah, he's great.
Dude's always just got fresh. He's got that fresh.
He's got that fresh, that cream fresh.
He's got that green fresh.
Oh, that's nice.
Is that one of you guys actually saying that?
No.
That would be pretty cool, though.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're pausing from Killer Instinct for the moment.
Oh, look, that's what that is. Okay, got it.
We'd be shouting Ultra. Eel is a drowned viper. Yeah, the drowned viper was dope. Oh, look at those shapes. You mostly a Dynamesh kind of guy, or you Sculptress every so often?
I'm a Dynamesh kind of guy all the way, but I actually, as long as Sculptress has been in there, I almost never touch it, but I recently started using it, and I absolutely see the value in it, so I'll be using it more, implementing it more in my workflow for sure. It just took me a minute to even bother with it, because
Yeah.
I'm so stuck in my workflow that other things, they just don't even get hovered over, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even notice them. But when they solve an immediate problem, that's when I fall in love with things.
You're like, I gotta use it.
So when I'm making monsters, I'm thinking about, like, especially on Monster vs. Titan, these things throw down, these things move, they have to have lots of range of motion, they have to have agility and dexterity, and that's hard to do with the turtle. So I'm already thinking, like, all right, my turtle shell, when it feels like it can release, and all the plates separate, and it can actually turn it and twist its waist and swing and throw punches if it really needs to.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about this as I'm sculpting, and that's why it's hard to commit to a form, because I know I'm immediately gonna, it's not staying that way. So I have to think about where it's gonna break and how it's gonna reconnect, because you want it to look like a tortoise, excuse me, but then you want it to stand up and show off in like a cool pose right before it gets punched in the face, you know. So you think of these keyframes, and that's how I'm thinking about monsters as I'm sculpting them.
Very nice. Yeah.
I already know I want to have like a tail on this thing, that if this guy stands on his hind legs to punch someone in the face, that the tail will counterbalance the rest of the body. Otherwise, I don't think it would even be possible for the stand. Because these tortoises don't really have tails, but mine's gonna have one.
Yeah, put a tail on it.
Give him a tail.
Do whatever you like. You have the
Yeah,
power.
I get some fun too. Like, if I don't like it, it just gets deleted, and that's that.
That's how it works.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta burn through it, man. You gotta burn through it.
Yeah, Killer Instinct. We've gone through a few episodes of Sculpting Killer Instinct. Check them out. They're in some of our back episodes. Glorious.
Oh, was someone asking about it?
Yeah, someone was asking about it. Matt, you're like,
I'm like all the way not caught up on the chat. Yeah, dude, check this out.
Yeah. Let's
Here, let's turn
show
this
your
camera. Let's see here. Turn the light on.
you have
I printed out a block-in of Fulgore, and he's like huge, dude.
look. Can you show your throw your phone light on it?
I'm trying to get there. There we go.
There we go. Look at that bad boy. Holy crap.
Supreme victory.
Like, Matt had his designed, sculpted, printed in like, and I'm still on Glacius.
There it is. Boom. Yeah. So that's the
Sick, dude.
it's kind of the block-in. It's looking.
Oh
it's looking
man,
cool.
you did that one as well. I've finally switched screens to look at it. That looks stunning, dude.
Dude, thank you.
The
Man.
werewolf came out great too.
Blake
Dude,
said,
yeah,
"Oh, I want that Fulgore."
I was stoked with the Saber Wolf. It looked really cool.
Dude, Saberwolf turned out fantastic.
Ooh, you can get a Fulgore.
Matt's gonna get you a Fulgore.
Yeah. That sounds great. You guys coming to Monster Palooza again this year? Do you know?
I can't make it this year, dude.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
You're
Huge
gonna be
bummer. Get it next year.
You'll be with us in spirit.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know what? Maybe we'll live stream you in or something.
I'm gonna live stream my shoes.
He's gonna live stream his shoes in.
Gonna put barbecue sauce on my llama.
Barbecue sauce?
Barbecue sauce on the llama.
Give me that.
Give me that.
Give me that. Give me that salsa. Yeah. Cool. Nothing like seeing a two-headed turtle reminds me of Fandom. I don't know what Fandom is. Two-headed turtle.
To keep it less like Ghidorah, they're kind of like a fused two heads. It's still
that's sick.
neck, so I'm exploring that. Maybe I like this, maybe I don't. But yeah, this is how you concept and sculpt at the same time, and things get worked out.
You kind of figure it out as you add detail.
Yeah, exactly. Like what's in my mind's eye, if I can't match it with my sculpt, then the concept goes out the window, and then you're back to square one.
That's
Tricky. It's real tricky that way.
But you also gotta just let it breathe and let it be what it wants to be.
No, I suppose like had I took the time and did like a sketch first, like a drawing, that could have worked out a lot of the problems, and then you just get into sculpting, and you're not working out problems anymore. Now you just sculpt what you drew. I tend not to do that. Not that it's smart or anything. It's just I think a while back when I started learning ZBrush, I forced myself not to draw anymore, and I was like, sculpt what you're thinking. And this way I'll learn the interface more, and I'll actually get better at sculpting. And before I knew it, I didn't draw anymore. I just sculpted. And now I'm so rusty at drawing. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's how that happened.
We talk about that a lot. Is that with drawing, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah,
it goes away, and
yeah, it can be a problem.
It is a skill that atrophies very quickly, like faster than sculpting. Like sculpting, you can step away for a little bit and you'll be okay. But drawing, if you're not doing it at least a couple times a day,
Do you guys still draw?
I still draw, but like my drawing is very cartoony.
Okay. Now, if the job requires I'm talking about like a job for a film or a concept.
Yeah.
Does it require you to draw? Or do they care if you draw, or do you if you go right into sculpting?
I think
you want really good looking stuff fast. So it's time to draw it.
Yeah, it depends on what they're asking for. If they want to see a lot of options really quick, you can't beat drawing.
It also comes with like whenever they hire you, like they'll ask you, they'll be like, what's your workflow? What does your work look like? And
oh yeah, they will.
And yeah. Most of the time I'll be like, man, I just bang this stuff out in 3D, and then give me a day or two, and you'll have a bunch of versions, and that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Like they know what they're like, they find out or they know what they're hiring.
Yeah. That's I guess that's true.
I would say it's also a proof of purchase industry. Like they're looking at your portfolio, they're coming to you, they see what you do.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they're not going to ask you to do anything that's not in your realm. Like they're not going to come to us and be like, hey, design this Rococo French lantern, and you're going to be asked to do what's kind of in your portfolio.
That's funny, because like if that in the video game industry, I feel like they would do exactly that. Like you're great at monsters, but you're also great at wooden crates and iron machinery and like you know what I mean, like assets. You're an asset creator, so you have to be able to do whatever the hell they ask for.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe if they know your specialty. If they know your specialty, then maybe they'll ask for that, only that. If you're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, usually they're just coming to you for what you do, at least in film.
Yeah,
So
it's how you shop yourself around too.
Yeah.
I mean, if your reel has like, 4 like really cool monsters, but it also has a bunch of great environment artwork, you're going to get hired for that environment artwork.
Yeah.
Like that's just if it's in your portfolio, they're like, oh God, we need those guys big time. There's
Right. So if you don't want to do it, don't include it.
Yeah. And at the same
Really
time,
don't do it.
you got to do stuff that's out of your, like, I don't have a lot of spaceships, but I should
Right.
probably do some spaceships. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. That's I find that very interesting because I don't have nearly as much experience as you guys in this field, and I would love more, but so I don't actually know these things, and I don't know if I need to know them or
Yeah, dude. I mean, it all just comes in time. Like, especially the more clients. Like, I mean, I've done plenty of work where it's like you're doing, medical commercials and modeling pills and chromosomes and DNA and stuff like that. The fun jobs, they're always like peppered in. It's like, oh, dude, one of my return clients came back and now I'm doing like some monster designs. That's sick. Everybody knows that's what I do, but they also know that I'm a production artist, and if they need this and this and this done, I can get it done.
Exactly. And the more basically the more you can do, the more value you can add, to each stage of it.
yeah, absolutely.
And again, it's a proof of purchase industry. So if you're telling people you can do topology and UVs, you should have that stuff on your reel, so they can see it.
Yeah.
Don't forget to save your work.
Don't forget to save.
Save us.
I have another question for you guys. What do you do with all the stuff you can't show?
You sit on it and get sad.
You know what I like to do is I like to trot it out every so often, stare at it, and remember what might have been.
Do you forget it exists after a while? Because you can't show it, so you like stop looking at it.
No, you always know it's there.
I feel it's so sad sometimes because
Well,
the best stuff you've ever done, and you can't know.
Oh yeah, and then it never comes out.
I mean,
or it does come out and you don't get the permission.
That's yes, that also happens. Sometimes that's you have to take that as part of the job.
Yeah, I mean that's just literally how it is. Like,
and always sucks when you can't show something cool, but you just go, okay.
Like I did some really cool designs 3 years ago for a TV show that's been out for a couple of years now, and they didn't get picked. And maybe one day I'll be able to show them, but I check in every year. I'm like, hey,
yeah,
you guys cool? Like, can I do this yet?
I don't blame you. I don't blame you in the least because I feel like, I've only worked on a couple of things, but one of them finally got into the film, and even though I worked on it a while ago, being able to say I worked on it is really, it's just validating. And like, hey,
yeah,
I wasn't lying. I'm telling the truth. And then, when you can't show it, then it's like, oh no, now no one knows I worked on it.
Yeah,
I get the next job because I can't show.
That's the thing is like our jobs are dependent on the work we can show that's relevant now, and when you can't show that stuff, it can hurt. It really can prevent you from getting new work. And so
it's an ugly truth.
Yeah, and it's all down to producers' discretion,
Yeah, absolutely. And you really do have to understand that is the nature of the game, and you got to get over it really quick.
There's also I don't know. I think it's just trepidation on the part of kind of studios when they're like, because sometimes they don't let you show stuff because they're like, if what you did is better than what they went with, they get a little they get anxious about it, you know, and because someone up that chain is, you know, made that decision, and you know, they might be fighting for their job.
Yeah, and it makes them look bad, you know.
And it makes them look bad, or you know, whatever it is. And
interesting. I would not have thought down that route.
Yeah, you know, and
dude, that's the majority of it. Yeah,
that happens a lot, you know, and
from like ego stuff.
Well, in a studio environment,
yeah,
you know, it's pretty cutthroat, you know, because everyone's trying to get your job, and so they're all just kind of waiting for a slip up, you know.
Yeah, totally.
And the other thing is there might be legal issues involved, or you know, it's complicated. So that's why, you know, you should always be working on your portfolio no matter what.
Yeah.
You know,
this is great advice. I mean, this is exactly the stuff I need to hear, and I know people listening want to know.
Yeah, yo, dude. It's you know, sometimes it's hard, but when it's great, it's really great.
We got a bunch of.
It seems like it's great right now because there's a great movie out with stuff in it that's great. And,
I mean, ultimately, dude, it's so good for just monster fans in general because, yeah, you know, I've been a giant monster fan forever, and so just seeing the kinds of stories that we're getting, you know, we had, dude, in like the span of like 6 months, we had Monarch, -1, and X-Con, you know, Godzilla Kong, dude. It's crazy. They're all individually unique and they're all like connected, you know.
Yeah, it's that's that good eats.
And we just need, you know, to convince Hollywood to just keep making more of these monster movies, or let us make more.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We'll just make a big monster movie.
Ready to roll out.
I mean, look, superheroes had a 20-year run, so let the kaijus have a 20-year run.
Let the monsters roam. But also, you know, and there is some validity. You know, we've gotten these movies every 2 to 3 years instead of like every year back to back.
Right. I think it's a smart way to do it.
Yeah. And
separation is never good.
Yeah, so that separation is also valuable, and you know, when we finally get to enjoy it, you know, it's great. But as we learn with superheroes, you can oversaturate real quick. What do you got? Sound off in the comments. Do you want more monster movies?
Sound off at the farmer's market.
Sound off at the farmers. Yay! All right, now this would be interesting. Would you watch a live action Justice League versus Godzilla movie?
Of course.
Of course.
They would never make that.
They would no. Hey, look. You know what, man? You know what?
Chicken butt.
I'll
got him.
Cool, you really did.
Yeah, I got him. Got him good.
All right.
It's over now.
I'm just saying. Look, after Ready Player One, and you know what a legal nightmare that movie was, it could happen, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It
could be a very strange explanation for it as why it's happening.
It could be, Elseworld. You just do an Elseworld.
I mean, who wouldn't want to watch
it?
I mean, if we could throw the Hulk in there just for fun.
Sure.
and Thing from Fantastic. We're talking about.
We'll just get everybody on board.
It's just like the ultimate summer blockbuster of all time before the end of the world or something.
Starring literally everyone.
All IPs welcome. That's that's a great idea. Who wins? I mean, is Superman still standing at the end of that? Is Godzilla?
Well, Godzilla, gave him a one shot. He knocked him out.
Yeah, who would allow their character to get killed in that scenario?
I guess it would have to be just really cool. I really need a direction. You're giving him neck. Oh, that's your neck tentacles.
I don't know. Like you just said, I really need a direction. I'm gonna start pulling stuff out.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm liking it. The neck tentacles is good.
I gotta start making decisions. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
See, that's the thing is Pope, you started off right away. You knew what you were gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it probably before I even knew I was coming on here, a meeting to sculpt something like this. But I would have still have come on if I had no idea whatsoever. And I'm not even in love with my idea just yet. Anyway, it's still
we're still in
Play-Doh mode where I'm just pushing and pulling stuff until I like what I see.
We're barely an hour in, so
you'd be surprised how it looks, by the end of the second hour. Just a little, once you get in the flow. Fearsome Godzilla has a ball.
Sometimes things they're not winning you over, and then you just throw some poly paint on it, and then boom, you're in action. Wow, that actually looks fantastic. Yeah. I just had, no color. So it's fun when that happens. You think it sucks when it doesn't. The other way around is not good.
You also have to just kind of sometimes just beat it up a little bit, beat up the clay, and mush it around until it makes sense.
It's the good stuff. But when you think something looks great and it doesn't, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
That's why you got to get up and walk around for a while.
It's true. That's the best thing you can do.
For so many reasons.
Walk away.
Your body will thank you, and your creation will thank you.
Leave me alone.
This is not Kaiju related, but Tim's getting his own HBO show, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, we're all really excited.
I think really good.
Who is this?
Oh, Tim Robinson. Have we not annoyed you with our Tim Robinson yet? For about at least 60 episodes, it's just me and Matt
quoting. I think
you should leave.
That show drives me if I don't fall into a hysterical fit of laughter, I can't breathe. That show does it to me.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's so my sense of humor. That and Tim and Eric Awesome show.
Yeah, dude. And Tim Heidecker's in he's in every season.
I love and Eric Andre show is another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
These shows are ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Just thinking about it was making me laugh. So.
Oh yeah, for a lot of episodes, it's just me and Matt just riffing stupid.
That's great. So you say he's getting his own HBO show or special, like a stand-up?
It's like a whole show,
TV show. Wow. Yeah.
And he's actually touring right now with they're doing their live show.
I know, dude. That would be so fun to go to.
It sold out right away too.
I don't doubt it.
My sister showed me the Jelly Bean skit. The part about him yelling, "It's a bicycle," knocks me dead. It's a house. It's a house.
I think
it's a cup. You scumbag!
Drags.
Yeah, he must burst blood vessels doing this thing.
I know, dude. That's what I think of every time. I'm like, how is this guy like not having a headache and bruised eyes all the time?
So the show is it's called the Chair Company or Chair Incorporated. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like working at a chair company, and he gets caught up in some sort of conspiracy.
They described it as he gets caught in some kind of like web of conspiracy.
Of course.
And that's it. Julian, what's going on? We're all having a good time. We're sculpting some kaiju here with DopePope, who's doing a two-headed tortoise. Kaiju. Two-headed monstrosity. You need that, like, what's that third element gonna be? Like, is he gonna have some like dragon? Like, if you gave him like rhino horn, you know what I mean? Like a giant rhino horn or something.
Well, I was thinking, well, like, turtles really don't have like weapons. They're all armor, but they don't really have weapons. So I'm thinking, like, what do they do that is considered offensive? And like an alligator snapping turtle has that beak. That's all about that. Looking at different references, they have super long necks, something, and he's gonna do most of his fighting with his head, mouth, and the necks are gonna. The neck is gonna swing around really fast. That could be the lightning fast attack he's got, while the body just kind of anchors down.
It's like the whiplash neck or something.
And then I'm thinking like a spike. Like, I don't know if you saw Pacific Rim, the monster at the end, Slattern. It had this spike in the center of its chest that would shoot out and stab anything that was close to it.
That's pretty cool.
It was really quick, but it looked really mean. And I think this tortoise would be kind of cool to have that thing that shoots out from under its belly out towards your throat and then goes back in, and then they're just standing there with no throat.
I was thinking because it's got the two heads, if it shot out an energy beam, like how they could spiral together.
Oh man, that's exactly what I was thinking as well. Great minds are thinking alike.
Yeah. Add
one color, the other's the other color.
Maybe add some like cobra folds or something.
Yeah.
Nope. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm just right now just trying to get as much geo in as I can, and then just thought all of that beautiful secondary concepting. Right now, I just gotta get the thing on.
Yeah, you gotta get the big shapes. You gotta get them big shapes. Oh, man.
These big things.
You got some like, it's like got some bug in it.
Yeah, he's going full space bug.
Space bug, I love it.
He's gonna be space bug, Octopian.
Oh, gorgeous.
Repto space bug. That's what he's gonna be.
I love that.
I think that's where we're going.
I was gonna do like I don't know, pack rim goblin shark.
Oh, goblin shark's always a.
I mean, it's a trope at this point, but
Well, maybe find something, in between the goblin shark and something else.
Maybe like a gulper eel or something.
I always like the moray because they just have that kind of really scary but also personable kind of face.
You know what? That's actually pretty cool. Is if he had kind of a long snake-like neck.
Yeah.
Kind of move his head around like in a snake-like fashion. Like a snake.
Like a snake.
Nice.
You mean like a snake?
Like a snake or an eel. Because Matt was saying more eel. Or not. You know what?
I like it. I mean, dude, like you know the rule. Just jam it in there.
Jam it in there. See it.
If you like it, call it a day.
Call it a day.
Call it a farm.
At the end of the day, you have to call it a farm.
Ooh, I gotta take a fiber. I gotta add some resin to this.
Yeah, I was wondering when you were.
I totally forgot about that.
Let's field some questions for DopePope while he's here.
I haven't looked at the chat. I haven't looked at the chat once since
I know. I got it.
Forgive me if I asked me questions I didn't look.
There's a lot of chatter going on.
And I'm so happy that so many people showed up. That's great.
Hell yeah, man. Well, your work is awesome. And,
I mean, I love hearing that, but from anyone, but from you guys, it's just out of control. Thank you.
Yeah, man, it was super cool seeing your Shimo. And
yeah,
what's it like seeing your Shimo sculpt kind of like on like 1,000 YouTube videos?
I'm kind of used to that. A lot of my stuff gets just taken and used, and it happens. I don't mind it, to be honest with you. That's kind of cool.
Well, it's good. I mean, it's just
good enough to use.
Right. It's just great for getting you out there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when people say, please don't repost my art, I always question that. Like, isn't that what this is about? Like, that's how anyone's going to notice you. But I totally get a lot of stuff gets misused.
Yeah, or I mean, there might be like other secondary reasons. You know, they're just doing
Absolutely.
it for their local fans, or whatever it is. I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, when you're trying to like make a name for yourself, yeah, you got to. You got to put yourself out there.
Again, not everyone is doing this. A lot of people are doing this just for the fun of it, and they're not trying to like build a career out of it.
Yeah.
They just love monsters as much as we do, and that's what they do for fun. So they don't care if it gets 1 million views or 0 views. They're just having a good time.
Yeah,
and you gotta respect that.
You just respect the art for the art's sake.
Oh hell yeah, man! That's
I love seeing all the fan art. Like, it's just the coolest feeling, that.
I know you. I see you repost it all the time. I think, which is really nice of you to do that, because to them it's like, it's got to feel like Christmas morning to see you repost their work. I
mean, dude, it's just the cool. I mean, for me, it's just the coolest thing. It's like been working a long time to try and get to people making fan art of stuff. It's really cool. it's I've been at 14 years, so and it's just we're just at a cool place. It takes a long time to build up a career.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, is there anything left that you feel like I have to do that? That's what I'm going for. I'm coming for you. Like, what could that be at this point? You've done everything.
Well, I mean, not everything.
Well, as I'm saying, like, what is like left for that still has your hunger?
Well, I mean, I wrote a children's book.
That's amazing, though. That's
yeah,
a thing to do.
Yeah. So I'll be dropping that Kickstarter next month. But so that was already like one bucket list thing that I wanted to do. A lot of other things are like more writing, more things like that, getting writing scripts, or just chasing the bigger dreams as well. I've been trying to develop projects for years, trying to get stuff made, and it's hard. It's definitely very, very hard. As for like design stuff, oh dude, there's like a million things I wish I could work on. Millions.
Probably get to. It'll probably happen.
Oh shit. There's. I'd like to be in a position where I can like actually hire and pay artists. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Because you want to pay it forward and pay it back.
Yeah. Part of the fantasy is just like getting to a place where I can help others.
That's. I mean, not everybody feels that way, so that's.
Good. Yeah, I know. And it's just like it's just out of a sense of like I got a lot of stuff that I want to make, and it sure would be nice to hire a bunch of really, really talented people for it, such as yourself or Jared Modena, and all of that stuff too. So we're been working towards that. That's the big big goal. But I mean, I would like to do. I'd like to work on some more Batman stuff.
Like film wise, or just
just like if dream design stuff.
Yeah.
More Batman projects.
Have you ever done like any collectibles?
I have not.
It's interesting because I do a lot more than that. I do a lot more of that than I do concept art for film, which is what I wanted to do more of when I first started. It's just that I found, monsters really lend themselves to toys, and I just got up in that industry, which I love. So I imagine you would be right at home there.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do
both of you for sure. I mean, you see how you print your stuff out; it's gorgeous, and that's exactly what that's selling.
Yeah, Matt's working. He's freaking killing it right now.
Hey guys.
Hey, he's here. He's right here with us.
My man.
Yeah.
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, right on. Where's the gabagool?
Is that Tony?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey Tom. Hey Tom, so a big two-headed turtle walks up to you. What are you gonna do? Gabagool.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So basically, when I get to a point where I'm satisfied with the shapes, and I up my resolution on Dynamesh to I double it usually. I start really low though at 32, then I go to 64, then I go to 128, and I just keep doing this until I'm so heavy that I have to just start applying subdivisions. But that's basically my workflow, and I taught it to myself, so I have no idea if it's that's how it's done. It's just how it's done in my house.
Oh, dude, I mean, whatever works for you, man. Whenever you get into production and, different workflows, you use the same tools in just so many different ways. The end product is the end product, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously once you got topo and UVs on it, or, you might be just stuck with that, but how you start the clay method, doesn't matter. Everybody's different.
Yeah, I guess whatever you can do the quickest with the best quality, they're not gonna yell at you about it. And then I guess people get fixated on am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? If it's coming out good, you're doing it right.
Yeah, you're doing it right. Yeah, if they're giving you notes, you're doing it right.
If you're still in the building, you're doing it.
You're still in the building. Yeah, you're. Question: what's the hardest part about creating a monster?
Everything.
Everything.
If you're doing it for fun, not much.
Yeah.
Really, just finding that language that you're happy with is usually the biggest hurdle, and then the second you're there, you just start going.
Yeah, I would say your head game, with what you're thinking about, how you think about things, or, because it's just you and yourself at the end of it. It's just you by yourself.
I do think if you're designing it for a film or whatever, it's your job, and you're trying to please a director or an effects artist or whatever, that what makes that difficult is trying to figure out what they want before they know what they want.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You're not even thinking about what you want. You're thinking about what they want, and you don't know what they want. And that's the hardest part. Just the telepathy you're supposed to have, because you'll just bust out a design that they don't want, and then you're stuck with that for a little bit until you figure out what they do want. But if you were doing it for yourself, then you don't have that struggle. You know what you want, and you're going to do whatever you want. You can make as many changes as you want, because you're not on a time frame and all that.
Yeah, I in a way, I guess when you have a client, it's almost easier because the directive is already set. And when it's me by myself, I'm like trying to figure that out. And so sometimes not having a client there over your shoulder, you know, who's giving you deadlines, you know, is harder for me.
Ah, that's interesting.
See what I'm saying? Like when it's just me, like just trying to just come up with something for myself. Sometimes I get choice paralysis, which is like too many options, too many decisions to make. You know, so I end up freezing.
I can relate to that as well.
You know, and you can spin out with like 1,000 ideas. So in a way, like doing stuff like this with Matt, like doing Creature Corner, is great because we actually like have to figure out what we want, what we're trying to make.
Yeah, it's got more pressure.
I definitely noticed that.
And
you bounce ideas off each other, and you kind of concept as you go, and it's that's what's so good to watch. But most people don't work with a buddy.
Yeah,
we should all do it.
In a way, yeah, we're accountability buddies, and we just kind of keep each other sane somehow. You know,
being like, ridiculous.
Yeah, like because I'll go through. You know, I can be a moody bitch, and you know, I go through my like periods of doubt, and Matt's kind of there to like. He's like, "Shut up," you know. And he's like, "Dude, it looks great. Shut up," you know.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah, you know.
So necessary though.
And you know, I feel like likewise, I'm there to kind of provide some extra juice for Matt too.
For sure.
You know, because sometimes it's hard. So if you have a buddy, you know, like a creative partner who's there to help you.
Yeah, like whenever we started doing this, we wanted to make it like it was in the old days when we were both in the studio together, you know, where we're just like goofing around and also like helping each other out and giving critiques and finding new techniques and all that stuff.
Yeah, all the time, because that's really what it was like. And you know, Matt would like roll his chair over to my desk and he would like say like Markle Barn.
Yep.
You know, accountability buddies. Yeah. What's up, James? Friendship.
And then afterwards you go out for sloppy steaks.
Yeah.
That's right. They can't stop you from ordering a steak and a glass of water.
I said was.
That made me laugh so hard, the slap. It's just so stupid.
But yeah, like if you do like if you go out and you do a drink and draw or you know whatever, I think that's something post-COVID era that is been hard. I think hard for everybody is not having interaction on a day to day. Well, question was, what was our first video? Do you mean like our first episode? Or I don't know what that is. It was Creepy Moon Boy.
It was Creepy Moon Boy.
It was Creepy Moon Boy.
The twice failed prompt for me.
You nailed it on the second one.
I didn't nail it. He's fine.
See, this is what we're talking about.
See, yours is great. You've got the definitive Creepy Moon Boy.
He is
he's perfect.
Yeah. There've been plenty of times that Matt has crushed it, and I have not. Killer Instinct point of fact.
It's not true, man. I just put 100 hours into it more than you did.
But that's what I'm saying is you had the juice. I was fighting it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it comes easy and sometimes it doesn't.
I feel it. I think a lot of the times I have to like drop a project. If it's a personal project, you have to like drop it for a little while and then come back after you do something else, you know? Get that fresh.
I fear that I lose momentum because, like, how many works in progress do I have?
You know what they say about fear, right?
Fear is the mind killer.
There it is.
I knew it. That's a Dune reference.
It is. It's a Dune is a big old pile of sand.
There's a lot of sand in that movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either.
What?
Yeah, I want to see it really bad though.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't get to the theater that often, but I did twice for Godzilla. So.
It is.
I know that's a theater movie. I mean, especially with those giant worms.
You know, I'll tell you, I didn't see the first Dune in theaters, and I regretted it. So.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Don't have that regret, man. The spice must flow. Yeah, sandworms, are they giant kaiju?
I would say so.
I would say so.
Why not?
But I mean, it just means strange creature, right? So
yeah.
It kind of applies.
Pretty.
Don't apply. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome. It's a kaiju.
It's a kaiju. It counts.
Would you watch a Godzilla movie where he fights one of those things? Yes.
Yeah.
That's kaiju. Right now, I'm struggling like to make a turtle-esque face that doesn't look like Gamera. And you know how hard I want, like bad, I want to put fangs. Just because it's just you just want to do that.
Paul Bunyan is a kaiju. Yeah, Blue is definitely a kaiju for sure.
Well, I think Paul Bunyan or some kind of lumberjack is like canonically a kaiju in some Ultraman, right? Or some kind of media has it where he is a kaiju. I think the ox he hangs out with, that's a kaiju.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a giant.
The big blue ox.
Like a giant's not a kaiju though. It's not a strange creature, it's just a dude. He's just really big.
I mean, that's pretty strange.
Like a giant dude or a 50-foot woman.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 50-foot woman not a kaiju?
That colossal man with his face is half skull. He's a kaiju, you know?
Yeah.
He's also pretty damn cool. I think what's his name? Rick Baker is working on something like that recently, just for like fan art.
Oh, that's dope.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, Rick Baker slams.
Dude's still slamming.
Yeah, I think he's thrilled to be just like retired and doing all the things he loves. And it's funny because it's funny watching these heavy hitters. They're doing their own fan art. You know, he's Tom Savini painting the Phantom. That's him doing fan art. You know, he's doing what he loves, and we're over here doing fan art of stuff that they've made for movies.
Yeah, for sure. I also love how every Halloween he's just like, here's the makeup I did on the family, and it's just the most insane, like, the most AAA Hollywood movie level makeup. He's like, I just, molded my family's heads and then, sculpted their mask and cast it out. And then I was like, the hell? It's ridiculous.
That's great.
Yeah, and to be Rick Baker's, kid.
Yeah.
They seem to love it. They probably nag him every year, like, what are we doing this year?
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I want to paint.
They're saying Meg is more of a cryptid, a giant megalodon.
I mean, that's just a dinosaur.
Yeah, right?
I mean, they were real.
They actually happened.
They were actually the real deal.
Yeah, they have like their skulls and stuff, like their jaws.
Yeah,
they're big.
I stood inside of one.
Stood inside of one
at a museum somewhere.
I have a question about your job. Your job, like requirements or what your expectations are. because I recently saw an art dump on ArtStation. This artist who worked on The Last Airbender, and he did a lot of the creature designs, and they're all beautiful.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just depictions and beauty renders of the monsters themselves. It went into the skeleton, and the musculature, and it looked like he was straight up doing the rigging too. I mean, I don't recall you ever posting a skeleton of something that not that you couldn't do it, but I don't think it was required of you to have that. Was it ever required of you for that, or is that something that's normally asked?
No.
You to have the whole interior of the creature as well?
No.
So what was that? Was that something different? Was he the rigger, or?
It's more than likely, they kept the concept artist on whenever they were developing the production asset, and whenever you're developing the production assets, they need to know like the musculature layout. They want collision geometry for all of their simulations and stuff like that. Like, I mean, as a look dev guy, like I've done stuff like that where you have to build the interiors of the models and stuff, and you have to figure out its locomotion, how it moves, and you have to work very closely with the riggers, and you have to make their geo for them and stuff like that. So it's he probably just stuck along for the a little bit of the production aspect of it,
Have you seen this stuff that I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know the guy's name, but
I know his name. It's
respect. I mean, it's multiple people actually, so it's like anyone who worked on it did a stellar job. I quite like it.
Gail Kirschbaum.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So we're talking about. I'll post his Insta in there.
I mean, he had like Appa, and he had there's some kind of monster in there that kind of looked similar to the Muto, which was gorgeous. And like Luca, another friend, like he did paintovers of his models too. So it's very collaborative. I think I saw
art. You don't need you don't need like the skeleton or any of that stuff. It really depends. So kind of what you're talking about here. So you don't have to do this, but like he's doing this, and it's definitely working for him.
Oh, it's just like an insane amount of work. I wasn't sure if he was just doing that. I'm sure he couldn't have been just doing that for the fun of it, or like going above and beyond what was required of him.
Well, he's also a production artist, so I think Matt's right. Is that he's
I mean that's production, man.
Like, because he's doing like this, this creature is the final model.
I see it's like Muto with some extra, like if Muto evolved into a reptile.
Yeah, pretty fun.
Yeah, I loved that when I saw it. I was like, that's beautiful. And when he posted his work, you get to see from every angle. It's really, really good.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of what he's up to, is he's a production artist as well, and that's he's selling the concept art on top of the production. Very versatile, and Elefante. Yeah, I know they do use Ziva a lot for that. So it's like the more you can do, the longer you'll stay on a show, and keep yourself
exactly.
Keep yourself going. So like a rigger production artist, that'll definitely keep it going for a while, and always in demand.
It scared me because I'm like, is that why should I be like including skeletons and stuff? Because I know for a fact when I delivered on many of these jobs that I worked on, like I didn't know when to stop. I thought maybe I was over delivering, giving them way too many views and angles and variations, and I thought maybe is that like, am I giving them that choice paralysis? And is that going to work against me? Like I wanted to show what I can do, but at the same time, I was like shooting myself in the foot You know, and these are things you think about.
Yeah, and you can also burn yourself out that way too.
Exactly, and that's close to what happened.
Yeah, I mean, you start to become a victim of your own success whenever you're over delivering like that, you know, because you just start like pushing yourself forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and then you're like, oh, this is what they expect, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then how much more of this can I do?
Yeah.
What I've discovered is that anything over 5 options, their eyes tend to glaze over. So they, because you're also not dealing with artists per se, like on our level. So their views are different, their attention spans are different.
They're looking at them on their phones.
Yeah, that happens.
Who's not doing that?
You know how many producers I've had who are like, they're in their car. They're like, a good producer's always in their car.
Yeah.
Because they're like pulling over and they're like, oh, I'm on my way over here. Yeah, it looks good. I'm gonna send these off to the director. Blah 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 blah. You know.
Yeah.
So you can over deliver and then burn yourself out that way real quick.
I guess when you actually learn when to stop and when to be confident that you nailed it. Like,
yeah.
You're in the ballpark, at least.
What I like to do, and you know, Matt and I have talked about this before, but you have to every so often, if there's a project that deems it, you know, that you really need to do that, then do it. Like GVK, GXK, those were shows where I'm like, I have to deliver a lot of stuff, and that's because like you have more people to please, you know, on the other side.
Well, you also want to absolutely nail it.
You absolutely want to nail it.
It's the job where you're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go all out on this."
Yeah, and then you want to. It's also a show where you want a lot to show afterwards, as well, because you want to have a lot of things to post too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you're not just thinking then. You're thinking like a few years from now, this has got to sustain me for a while, so might as well just produce a lot now. So
I know when I saw the Mechagodzilla that you did, a lot of things went through my head, like, because I remember how much time I had to work on things, and I'm sure you had basically the same amount of time, and I'm looking at how much detail you got into that, and knowing, or at least thinking, like, that's how much time he had, and that's what he handed in. Like, how did he even do that? It blew my mind. Respect, dude. Huge respect for that. And I was just saying, I don't even know if I can do that. Like, no matter how good I'm at, I don't know if I can match that.
Well, I think if the adrenaline hits, you could do it.
Dude, yeah. I mean,
Well, I'm scared shit of hard surface, so that, like, right there, I think that's the thing. I have to beat my fear of hard surface. Because if that was organic, I mean, maybe I can do it. But the hard surface and how well you did it, it was just so. It's just, I don't know. Now I'm fanboying. I gotta shut up. But still, like, that was like that set the bar for me. I'm like, wow, if this is what's expected of us, you start to question yourself. Like,
well, that was also a show where I knew I had to go for it, you know.
And they just took what you did and dropped it in the movie. It's like, boom, there, it's right there. Like,
yeah, man.
Like, that's the dream.
The
Warbat is exactly what you sculpted, man. It's like, that's the dream. And now to brag, I feel like that's a little like what Tiamat was as well. Because
hell yeah, dude.
Like my sculpt.
Hell yeah.
And that makes me so happy that it is like my work and not like this bastardized creation. You know, it's kind of what I did, but not at all.
Well, Matt and I have both experienced shows where like you don't get the 100% through, and it's rare. I think it's and we can all say because all our monsters are in Adam's movies.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a testament to Adam as a director because he's able to decide. You know what I mean? He's like, no, that's it. That's the design that's in.
Yeah, dude. I remember being in the meetings, and he would tell you exactly why. Like whenever I showed him my Mecha G, he was like, dude, this is awesome, but it's way too Transformers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, like perfect. You know, like that was my shot. But he had just killer vision.
And that was also the note on my first Mecha G2 was it was two Transformers. And it's only because, you know, John Rosengrant was in the meeting. He's like, dude, Terminator. And I went, I got it. Matt went Terminator right away.
Yeah.
It's crazy that it wasn't even like, you know, well, it's obviously you've worked on for different movies, different iterations of Mecha G, you're like the Mecha G man. But then for this particular version, you had to go through multiple versions. And I know like that one version would have been hard enough to do in the time span, but you did multiples. And they were all very interesting looking. I love seeing the stuff that gets rejected. It's like so cool.
Yeah, I always think my first couple versions just fail right out the gate, and you got to go through that process to just
absolutely
get to it because you know my first
making like talking points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really good point too. Is that you're giving them like stuff to like think about.
Yeah, I do. I remember them. They always say, "Let's give me something I've never seen before," and then
Oh
you do.
my God.
What the hell is this? And I also say stuff like, I asked, you know, because I start fast and loose with everything, so I say if it's gestural and it's fast and it's not colored, and they're like, yeah, and then you give them that, and they're like, we don't know what to make of this.
Yeah, they can't read it. Yeah, they can't read it.
Okay, you don't mean anything you say.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the learning experience, and like I definitely get it.
That's also why I think you got to wow them right out the gate too. So when I deliver, you usually do like front 3/4 profile, close up, medium shot, full shot. I mean, it's a lot to render out, but that's what I did. You'll see that's what I did for Mecha G. And that gives them a chance to evaluate. Here's the close up. Here's what it would look like far away. And then you got to give them your keyframe. Like here's the design in a movie, right? Because sometimes looking at design like neutral pose is, even if it's posed, it might not read right. And,
that's the money shot. You definitely
you got to do the money shot too. And just make sure that like they get that, scratched and that itch scratched. Modena did all that stuff for the Toho monsters. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think he's doing some of the best stuff online right now. Every time he drops a new design, it's just like jaw dropping, and you're like, oh, look at that, that's amazing.
He's
man, and he did mention that to me that you were like his inspiration, and you helped him with so much, and it's fantastic. You do that for lots of people, and it's really cool of you.
Oh, dude, kid brought all his own juice.
Yeah, it's obvious that he's got it.
There is a intrinsic self-motivation that has to come with this if you want to do it at a high level. And kid's got it in spades. You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure.
It also helps that his proficiency with ZBrush is very good, because he's very fast.
I noticed over the years, like I was doing this in 2013, and I was like, there was no one else really doing ZBrush Kaiju at the time, and over the years it just started to grow and grow and grow, and now like there's so many people doing amazing ZBrush Kaiju. I think it's amazing. At the same time, it's scary because it's like the competition is exponentially growing.
I think one thing that feels different this time around than other times is now you have a lot of fan artists who are doing stuff like at the time the trailer comes out.
Yeah.
You know, and
I was
that,
one of them, you know.
yeah, no, and this is more just an observation, and so like now there's all this work getting like put out before the movie even comes out, and it's just really interesting to see that, because sometimes I don't know what to make of it, because sometimes I'm like, well, just wait till the movie, and other times, you know, I have no control over that.
Yeah, I think that's social media's fault. Like people, they want to be the first. They want to have stuff out there to catch the clout and stuff.
Yeah, you got to ride the.
Yeah, you got to ride those waves, and we're all guilty of it to a degree.
Yeah, and but that is also something that's just a little different, you know, for watching it on my end. Because I'm like, man, they're doing my designs better than me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, damn, dude, these guys are like doing better jobs than me at my own thing.
And there was some interesting points brought up about that too. You know, one is that like, someone had commented about, you know, oh, dude, I like the fan art more than the final, and I'm like, well, you saw the fan art before you saw the final. Your expectations were set, you know.
Yeah.
And then on the other side is like, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I had another thought, but it just like left my brain. Oh, Matt, that's sick. He's got like Cthulhu neck.
He's got the Cthulhu.
He's got the Cthulhu neck.
Yeah.
He's necking it.
But then the other thing that's funny is seeing all the shipping that's going on too.
Yeah, that's the internet.
Yeah, that's just the internet, man.
The internet does that.
The internet does all that by itself.
What is shipping?
Pope, you want to tell?
It's shipping is when you just kind of like fantasize about two characters having a relationship together, like as if like Godzilla and Mothra were lovers, or boyfriend and girlfriend.
You mean like sexually explicit?
Yeah.
I mean, it can be, or it can be very
Take it easy.
innocent. It can be innocent or not, but yeah.
So that's what shipping is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Relationshiping.
Relationshiping.
That's what I thought it was.
That makes
I could
much
be
more
wrong.
sense.
Yeah. I'm old.
Yeah, I don't really like learning new stuff like that. That's how old I feel. I'm like, oh, that's just a terrible.
It's not something I ever thought about in my life.
Terrible thing I gotta know.
You know, I never
Pain
thought
should
about
be
if
legendary.
Godzilla would have a girlfriend or not. Like, to see that people think about that is interesting to me.
He's got a son.
Well, apparently that goes.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a. How'd that happen?
Apparently they like that too. That there were Godzilla, Mothra shippers, you know, all the way back.
Shippers.
Yeah, dude, it's the thing.
Hate it.
But not just that. Shipping can be like any two characters that you want to date, but maybe they don't.
Don't like it.
No, he don't like it.
You know, I got too much going on business-wise.
That's not enough time.
That's not enough time.
That's not enough time.
Just pardon me while I die a little bit. That's fantastic. James's timing, I don't know if you know, has just gotten so much. It's gotten so good.
Yeah, he's good at everything.
He's good at everything that he does.
Nice.
Yeah.
My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
Yeah. Nice.
Do you find yourself when you go into T-pose mesh? Do you find yourself just like the guy in there and just go to town sculpting in T-pose mesh.
Yes, yeah. I hate it when that happens, because I mean sometimes it's fine to just merge stuff together, but sometimes you don't want that to happen either.
Yeah, it's interesting what happens when you come like these multiple subtoons, but it's all acting like one while you're in there, and then you come out and you're like, oh, what did I do? All about it.
This guy's looking. Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
Well, I some of the things I'm thinking about to myself is like, I don't want this to just look like a giant tortoise, because then you would need something in the image for scale to show that it's a giant tortoise and not just a regular sized tortoise. So you have to think about like what's going to make it stand out from being not just the giant tortoise.
Yeah, for sure.
That's tricky. That is one of those things. I would say even the two heads, I'm pulling that from actual nature, so it still could be just a two-headed giant tortoise that doesn't read as a giant kaiju yet. But I guess once it's got a tail, and then I put in the fire beams, then they'll get the point that it's a monster. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, maybe there's always the Trinity. You're trying to combine like 3 elements in to get that creature design. There could just be some random offshoot idea like bug eyes or
throw some bug in there, or throw some
crustacean.
Yeah, crustacean. Yeah, actually turtle, crab,
Turtle crab. That sounds like that's like a meal combo we could have.
So I definitely want to set the record straight. A lot of people said that Tiamat looked a lot like this video game character from Monster Hunters.
Oh, dude.
Mitsune. I don't know how to pronounce it. I did not see this design before I sculpted it, I swear.
Dude.
But they look very similar, and I'm like, no wonder they're saying it. It definitely looks very similar.
Dude, you will get that anytime you do anything ever.
It happens everywhere you go.
Every time, like all the time, like, oh, dude, this reminds me of this, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, thanks.
It's literally like they're like, oh man, did you get Shimo's influence from the 1993 manga? And I'm like, what? I've never ever seen that. What are you talking about? So,
yeah, I mean, I got a lot of it. It's just the MonsterVerse manga, and that I get that because it's a serpentine creature, and of course they're gonna compare it to a Toho creature because it's a Godzilla series. So yeah, I totally understand that, and I don't think it looks anything like manga, other than it being serpentine. But this looks a lot like Tiamat, the Mitsune thing, and it's like I can definitely see people thinking, yeah, I definitely copied that. But I didn't. But it definitely looks like I did. Well, in some aspects of it. But I did the research. I think the game wasn't even out yet, or was being made, and I wouldn't have had access to images of it by then. I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the research and figure that out for me. So.
You also have to kind of believe in the universal collective unconscious. Is that because we've all consumed all media, that everything just kind of floats out there, and you can do things in the unconscious, without even knowing that stuff's there.
Yeah, and I mean everything's taken from nature, anyways. Like
you
can't get too wild.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like.
So that stuff will just drive you nuts if you let it. Just be like, okay, and then just move on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know I didn't do it, so I'm not losing sleep over it. But I if you snoop around on the web, you start to see things, and
you're waking up.
You want to defend yourself, kind of. Like, I didn't do that.
You're just like,
Panic.
oh God.
That's why you want to stay away from Reddit as much as you can.
Oh, you know, I love the poison. The other thing is just kind of like step back from it and kind of view it like science a little bit. Like, you put your design out there, it got this response, you know, how do you feel about the response? Was it, you know, was it good? Was it negative?
I would say 99% positive.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to let the negative stuff in, but most people will be like, that's freaking rad. Like, dude, Tiamat looks, you know, fucking sick.
Yeah, dude, I love the way that it moved as well.
And you know,
I'm just waiting. Thank you very much. I am waiting for them to put like that money shot in the trailer, so I could then grab that and find.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what I did, everyone. Because right now I can show all the concept art that I did, but I don't think people are even putting two and two together that it's the same thing, because it's totally different colors, and it's like, you know, they're not seeing it side by side. That it's
but it's definitely your language, though.
Well, it's 100% the same thing.
I guess.
A dream come true, man.
All right. Did Adam mention why Tiamat used a different design than the comic one? Didn't you design it for the comic?
I designed it way before the comic was made. I think I think the comic book artist, I don't know if they told him to change it or he just took some liberties just for the sake of his comic panels, made it look the way he wanted to, which is totally cool. I thought the artist did an amazing job on that book. It looked gorgeous. And then there was like Spiral Studios came out with a giant statue of the comic version, so that it looked stunning.
They have a statue of it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I have not seen the statue. What?
I think the statue was made using the comic version because at the time that was the most official version. But I don't think anybody in the movie production was aware of what Spiral was doing with the toy. So I don't think they ever like realized that there was a really good CG model of this thing that was a toy.
Yeah,
this is all my speculation. I have no idea what the truth is.
I wish fans knew that like it's not all cut and dry like Marvel is, right? Where they really have you know, someone overseeing everything. You know, I you know, because you have, I don't know, you have Toho and Legendary, and they're both doing, you know, their thing, but they're also working together. It's I don't think it's as easily like cut and dry. I say this just only as speculation.
Yeah, I could only think that like they didn't know. One hand doesn't know what the other one's doing. I'm sure.
Yeah, and you know, they obviously had your design. It went to the comic, and you know, they took influence from that. Maybe the comic artist, you know, got some notes, or you know, you never know.
Yeah,
what things are. There's. It's not. I don't think it's quite as you know, A to B sometimes.
No, I don't think there's a canonical reason given either.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That would be speculation as well. But I mean, things like that, it's just one line of dialogue. Like, you know, there's a species of Tiamat, there's multiple Tiamats, there's a male and a female. You know, just like whatever they got to say, they could. It's science fiction. Whatever they want to say.
Yeah, it's literally whatever they want to have happen.
But I gotta say, I'm thrilled that they went with mine and not the comic version, because like it would sting a little bit to see, you know.
Yeah.
What I didn't do, and then, but even the comic version, you can see my influence in that as well. Like the face looks exactly like what I did.
Yeah, exactly.
They just added some like fins and whatnot, and I get that. They needed more flourishes for the panel, perhaps, and have no problem with that. In fact, I wasn't expecting to see exactly my work on screen. I was expecting to see a worked on version, and to be honest, that's kind of cool. Like that's every monster I've ever loved in a movie. I know it didn't just start and begin with one design.
Yeah,
you know, it went through iterations, and I love that kind of stuff. So I'd love to see the evolution of my character start from my initial concept to whatever they did do. But it's even better this way. So
Yeah, and we've all had stuff that like is not the one-to-one, so you don't quite get, you don't get quite full bragging rights.
yeah, it's plenty of those.
But you can see the influence. And sometimes that's enough. You're that's the thing is, as a concept artist, you are providing, ideas. That's really the currency that we all operate in is ideas. And well, it could look like this.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it should look like this, and yeah, and to be able to provide that food for thought is enough for me. Like I feel like that's the job. It's not like you're lucky to get it to look like that on screen, but if you're part of the process, that's the job. That's the
yeah, exactly. And sometimes there's a little bit of like ego bruising that comes with it, on that stuff. But these are things that you can't control, and if you really want that level of control, then you have to make a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Do your own thing.
You have to make a movie, or you have to make your own property that's 100% yours. And I think that's something just a lot of artists in general, have to face at some point. They're like, well, if I want it exactly like it's in my head,
yeah,
then you got to go and make it so.
And it's a lot harder than it sounds.
It really is, and
it sounds hard already.
It really is, because once you try to make something, you know how hard it is, and it doesn't always go. The way you want.
Look at that.
Look at that. Matt's got lighting already.
Really good.
We're working on it, boys.
A lot of action around here today, huh?
I think I finally got a direction, boys.
I gotta look up. Oh, this is looking good, man.
Oh well, I'm. Just wait. I'm not done yet. I gotta do a thing. Oh damn, dude, that looks great. You could just picture that thing with a lot of growth on its back.
Yeah, like the earth on it,
Yeah. Have you seen those turtles with like giant mud piles on them? Turtle.
They did a killer one in the Pokemon movie, Detective Pikachu.
It's this guy. Yeah. Decent photo.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
that
man.
was awesome.
Yeah. I love this guy.
That's so funny. Like it is like a flat top of grass.
It's really, it's just a clod of dirt.
So, yeah, it's like a patch of a lawn that stood up and walked away.
But there,
If the lawn stood up and walked away.
I was kind of like, Methuselah is already that thing that was like a mountain that stood up and walked away.
Yeah.
It was, it definitely is that same kind of idea, like, because tortoises don't really move that much and shit grows on them. So, but I was picturing like an actual giant tree growing out of his back. What that would look
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
like. Just like it's part of its life force.
Wildly and in wild ways.
I was just thinking about soft shell turtles. How goofy they look.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at his little head. Look at this guy. Wow.
It's pretty cool
That
looking.
little snout. That little
That-
walk
those
snout.
tiny little details are what it's all
Look at
about.
that little dude. Look, he's even got like a little attitude.
There's a baby here.
Just a baby. Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt, that's looking sick, and that's like something out of a Del Toro film.
Thank you.
Like
guys.
Semi-L meets Kaiju.
It's gonna be.
I mean, time out.
scary. It's gotta be scary.
You gotta be scary.
Yeah, I'd say it's a solid block in at least. For sure.
Give me that.
Who took my cigars?
Who took my cigar?
They're stanzas. They're nice.
Little plastic meatballs.
They don't look like little pieces of shit.
They don't look like little pieces of shit.
Yeah,
They're not.
I like them. I like them for now.
Yeah. Then you look at it tomorrow.
Dude, your guy's looking crazy. Look at his hand, bro. Oh, the Peaky Blinders. I love it. I love it, dude.
Freaking chameleon kaiju.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great head shape.
By order, the Peaky Blinders.
By order of the flippy floopies.
Of the flippy bloopies.
Rico's Roughnecks.
Another good movie.
It's all about getting that iconic shape.
The shape of the farmer.
The shape, the smell of farming.
The smell of farming is not good.
The smell. If you have been on a farm,
Yeah.
no,
You guys know that they
there's
just doesn't smell too good. My favorite song.
If you stream with us on the regular, you'll love this song. Yeah. I think I've been watching Leo too much.
What's Leo?
It's a cartoon on Netflix. Liam watches it a lot.
Oh, it's like a children's thing.
Yeah, but it's Adam Sandler. It's really funny. They really like that one. Well, it's really fun to watch back to back with Spaceman.
Spaceman was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
really enjoyed that spider creature a lot.
yeah, it looks so good.
Carlos Wante, man.
Yeah,
Very him.
yeah, it's like a tarantula, but it has like little kind of tentacles too.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
it goes into like human anatomy in the cephalothorax, but also his arms are more like tentacles.
so he posted quite a lot of like development of that character.
Yeah.
And, like that's my favorite stuff to look at. And it didn't have the tentacles at first. It had like just other more different appendages and stuff. And I thought the tentacles were a really nice touch. And what's his voice was so soothing.
Yeah.
It was
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano. And if you noticed this, Paul Dano's like mouth was
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not know it was Paul Dano, but when I was watching it, but I said when I saw the mouth, I said that mouth looks familiar.
That mouth looks familiar.
Funny, which is and the only reason why it looks familiar is because a couple of nights earlier I had watched that movie Dumb Money, and he's the star of that movie.
Awesome.
And so Paul Dano was like fresh in my mind, but I didn't realize that I was drawn to his mouth the way I was.
incredible.
Yeah, so that was an interesting watch. I was still waiting for the jokes. They just never happened.
Yeah, I was waiting for Sandler to be funny, but
Yeah, this is gonna get funny.
I guess he's just getting divorced in space. Space divorce, man.
Space divorce couples therapy with spiders,
Well, boys,
mouths.
He's welling.
I'm welling it in. I mean, you guys can keep going.
I think I'm ready to.
At that point, yeah,
Yeah.
I just threw on some color just for the hell of it.
Yeah, let's check it out.
I'm still at the very suck stage, but I made some progress.
Dude, I mean, your sculpt is really good. I love
Yeah.
your head.
You know what I was-
really nice.
You know what I was admiring about it was like the hit you have, that angle in the legs. You know how they come out. I don't know. It's just very tortoise.
Yeah, yeah.
It's awesome.
Good. I was going for tortoise, and that's what, if it's reading that way, I succeeded.
You are succeeding, my man.
It's vaguely what I was thinking of, so I'm like not I didn't hate myself.
My man.
Good time to say.
Okay, so here's where I ended up. Is this good? It's kind of chameleon-esque.
I love him,
Yeah, I
dude.
think it's gonna be gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Not where I thought I'd be, but this was my initial sketch, so it's kind of close.
I think he's great.
Nice.
We'll just keep noodling on it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind
he's
of,
awesome, dude.
he's kind of a little freaky guy.
Very cool. And nice, Matt.
Oh, Justice.
You
hey.
jumped into
Speaking
Keyshot
of-
really fast, don't you?
Speaking of Doug, Justice is here.
Oh, what's up, Justice?
Killer friends.
The Monsterverse buddies.
We got all the MonsterVerse buddies. We should do like a get together or something.
Yeah, like a
You know.
sort of pop gathering.
Like we all play bingo or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that. All right, and Matt, where did you end up?
Yeah, I ended up with this guy.
Yeah, that's sick, dude.
Yeah, and I got him in the doing the old just checking the forums.
Oh man, that's nice. Yeah.
You could see him like hopping over a city and being like,
Yeah. All this little like
Oh, yeah?
tentacles just
I
kind of
thought
like,
I was the only one who did that.
yeah,
Move your character around.
love it. Well, that's brutal. Well, I guess that's gonna be it for tonight because we're all old and we're going to bed.
it is time.
DopePope, like, dude, we should finish this out. Come back on.
I would love
Yeah,
to. Absolutely.
For sure. Please,
Yeah,
let's do part 2.
let's do part 2. You want to do it?
Yeah, I definitely want to do it.
Yeah, he wants to do it. All
That's what
right.
we like to hear, man.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you everybody for joining in. If you want to contact us, our social medias are at MonsterMash042, at Jared Krichevsky. Matt Millard is at itchytasty_, at Matt Millard 3D. Pope, you wanna shout out your socials?
It's DopePope.com. No, not DopePope.com. I do have DopePope.com, but there's nothing there. It's DopePope with zeros for O's.
Hell yeah.
'Cause
Oh yeah, we got it up there.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop it in the I'll drop it in the chat.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
screwed that up royally.
That'll just be it's like
You did great, bud.
I was back in 1999, so
Yeah. Yeah, my AOL online name
my,
is
here's my MySpace.
hit me back on my Zanga.
we're old.
See, James beat me to it, and now we have double the tags in there. So, and then you're at the same on Twitter, right?
Yeah, Twitter is in.
Yeah. Okay, rad. Well, thanks again, everybody, for coming and hanging out. I had a blast, dude. It was great having you hang out with us. Let's do this again. Let's
Yeah.
party it up.
Let's go.
You got it. All right, thanks everybody. Go see Godzilla X Kong in theaters now. Go see it. And good night.
Later, guys.